John Dolittle, M.D., was a proper doctor and knew a whole lot. He lived in a little town called Puddleby on the Marsh. All the people, young and old, knew him well. And whenever he walked down the street in his high hat, everyone would say, "There goes the doctor. He's a clever man." And the dogs and children would all run up and follow behind him, and even the crows that lived in the church tower would caw and nod their heads. The house he lived in on the edge of the town was quite small, but his garden was very large and had a wide lawn and stone seats and weeping willows hanging over. He was very fond of animals and kept many kinds of pets. Besides the goldfish in the pond in his garden, he had rabbits in the pantry, white mice in his piano, a squirrel in his linen closet, and a hedgehog in the cellar. He had a cow with a calf too, and an old lame horse, 25 years of age, and chickens and pigeons and 2 lambs and many other animals. But his favorite pets were Dab-Dab the duck, Jip the dog, Polynesia the parrot, and the owl Toot-Toot. "When you love animals so much, why don't you doctor them?" asked Polynesia one day. "Take care of animals. Be an animal doctor." "I don't treat animals because I am a doctor for people and there are plenty of animal doctors," said John Dolittle, putting the flower pots outside on the windowsill to get the rain. "Yes, there are plenty," said Polynesia, "but none of them are any good at all. Now listen, doctor, and I'll tell you something. Did you know that animals can talk?" "I knew that parrots can talk," said the doctor. "Oh, we parrots can talk in 2 languages, people's language and bird language," said Polynesia proudly. "If I say, 'Polly wants a cracker,' you understand me, but hear this: Ka-keo-ki, fee-fee." "Good gracious!" cried the doctor. "What does that mean?" "That means, 'Is the porridge hot yet?' in bird language." "Oh my!" said the doctor. "You never talked that way to me before." "What would have been the good?" said Polynesia, dusting some cracker crumbs off her left wing. "You wouldn't have understood me if I had." "Tell me some more," said the doctor, all excited as he rushed over to the dresser drawer and came back with a book and a pencil. "Now, don't go too fast, and I'll write it down. This is interesting. Very interesting. Something quite new. Give me the birds A, B, C first, slowly now." So that was the way the doctor came to know that animals had a language of their own and could talk to one another. And all that afternoon, while it was raining, Polynesia sat on the kitchen table giving him bird words to put down in the book. At tea time, when the dog, Jib, came in, the parrot said to the doctor, "See, he's talking to you." "Looks at me as though he was scratching his ear," said the doctor. "But animals don't always speak with their mouths," said the parrot in a high voice, raising her eyebrows. "They talk with their ears, with their feet, with their tails, with everything. Sometimes they don't want to make a noise. Do you see now the way he's twitching up one side of his nose?" "What does that mean?" asked the doctor. "That means, can't you see that it has stopped raining? Clearly he wants you to take him out for a walk." Polynesia answered, "He's asking you a question. Dogs nearly always use their nose for asking questions." After a while, with the parrot's help, the doctor got to learn the language of the animals so well that he could talk to them himself and understand everything they said. Polynesia brought her sick friends and the doctor began to treat their illnesses. One day, a farmer brought his old plough horse to the doctor. The poor horse was very glad to find a man who could talk in horse language. "You know, doctor," said the horse, "that vet over the hill knows nothing at all. He has been treating me for 6 weeks now, for spavins. I am going blind with one eye, but that stupid man over the hill never even looked at my eyes. He kept on giving me big pills. I tried to tell him, but he couldn't understand a word of horse language." The doctor checked the horse's eyesight and said, "What you need is spectacles." The horse thought for a moment and said, "Why not? There's no reason why horses shouldn't wear glasses, the same as people. What I need is spectacles." Of course, said the doctor. "I'll get you some at once." "I would like a pair like yours," said the horse. "Only green." "They'll keep the sun out of my eyes while I'm plowing the field." "Certainly," said the doctor. "I'll have them for you next week," said the doctor. "Come in again on Tuesday. Good morning." Then John Dolittle got a fine, big pair of green spectacles, and the plough horse stopped going blind in one eye and could see as well as ever. And soon it became a common sight to see farm animals wearing glasses in the country round Puddleby, and a blind horse was a thing unknown. And so it was with all the other animals that were brought to him. As soon as they found that he could talk their language, they told him where the pain was and how they felt. And of course, it was easy for him to cure them. Now all these animals went back and told their brothers and friends that there was a doctor in the little house with the big garden who really was a doctor. And whenever any creatures got sick, not only horses and cows and dogs, but all the little things of the fields, like harvest mice and water voles, badgers and bats, they came at once to his house on the edge of town, so that his big garden was nearly always crowded with animals trying to get in to see him. There were so many that came that he had to have special doors made for the different kinds. He wrote horses over the front door, cows over the side door, and sheep on the kitchen door. Each kind of animal had a separate door. Even the mice had a tiny tunnel made for them into the cellar, where they waited patiently in rows for the doctor to come round to them. And so, in a few years' time, every living thing for miles and miles got to know about John Dolittle, M.D., and the birds who flew to other countries in the winter told the animals in foreign lands of the wonderful doctor of Puddleby on the marsh, who could understand their talk and help them in their troubles. In this way, he became famous among the animals all over the world.